And here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Well, here comes the sun. I said, it's all right. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun. I said, it's all right.
All right. Welcome home, you guys. It's so great to have Jimmy and the whole band back and the singers. Yay, let's give them some more love. And friends, I absolutely love the fact that our book of the month this month is called The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. And so if you came in at the end or after we started the service right at 10, you didn't notice, but we had a little glitch, right? And it's okay because we're not perfectionists. We're not trying to perfect everything on the outside, right? Because internally, we know that we are perfect and that all is well right here in the divine presence of love. Yes? Amen, right? Absolutely. So I'm very excited about today as we kick off the month of March, and our seed of awakening for this month is authenticity. Powerful. Now, it is often said that be yourself because everyone else is already taken. Have you heard this one? Now, being ourselves can sometimes feel scary and feel like we're taking a risk in this idea of being authentic in the world, especially in a world that is constantly trying to fit square pegs in round holes, or people constantly telling you how you should be, or how you should be dressed, or what you should be wearing. Oh, that's the same thing. Hello, I'm here with you. How you should be dressed, or what you should be talking about, or where you should be going, who should be hanging out with, what job you should have, and so on. The call is for us to truly be ourselves, yes? And so what a glorious thing it is that we get to do exactly that. Wow, it's a good day to be alive. It's a great day to be alive. So the dictionary definition of authenticity is the quality of being authentic. And the dictionary definition of authentic is not false or copied, but rather genuine or real. Genuine. We are genuine beings. So authenticity is the quality of being genuine and real, to be authentic, true. Yes? Now, on page 50 of her book, The Gifts of Imperfection, Brené Brown offers this definition. Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we actually are. Wow, I'm going to say that again. The daily practice, sometimes moment-to-moment practice, of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. Isn't that powerful? That's powerful and liberating. Like, oh, thank you for permission to be myself. Because while we're trying to, if we're busy comparing ourselves to others or trying to be like this person or that person, what happens is we fail at that, right? Because we can't be another person. We can only be who we are. And we can be who we are so well, right? So let's be who we are as individuals and express the light and the love and the divine that is within us. Are you guys with me so far? Yes. Awesome. So it's been a fun week. There comes the sun. I love it. So this last week, how many of you saw, read about, went out and took a picture of the two planets, Venus and Jupiter? Everyone, right? I've seen so many great pictures, and then it was this amazing phenomena. Wow, you could see these two planets in the sky, and they're so bright, but they just look like stars. And then a friend of mine even saw and took a picture of the 3 moons of Jupiter. I thought, what? That is amazing. And then there was a thing where The planets were going to be kissing, and so it was like, oh, look how cute, Venus and Jupiter are kissing, the kissing planets. And I felt in that moment awe. And it occurred to me that I want to feel this awe in every moment. The awe of spirit being like, look what I can do. Oh yeah, you want to see something really cool? You know, check out these two planets. Wow. Spirit loves us so much, and it is constantly working to get our attention. Are we noticing it? Are we noticing it? Are we looking for it? And so I want to share a little bit about an experience that I had, and I'm going to practice being authentic here with you, yes? And so I remember it so clearly. It was a day it was around 2005, and I was out having dinner with a friend and colleague now, minister of mine at the time, and we were having dinner at a place called Johnny Rockets. Have you guys heard of Johnny Rockets? It's like a 50s themed diner, and there was a Johnny Rockets in Campbell, California at the Prune Yard. And so we were there, and we were going to go to the movies after that, and it was such a wonderful day. And I was really excited to get to be spending this time with him, you know. And so I was asking him questions. I was so interested in what it was like to be a minister. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know, hey, what is a day in your life, like a regular work day? Just give me the lowdown. What do you do? You know, it's like, talk to people, do some counseling, prepare for classes. He's telling me some things, and I'm in it, right? I'm leaning forward, and I'm like, wow, that sounds great. And he's talking, and then suddenly he goes, Elizabeth, are you called to be a minister? That was my look. But something in me woke up in that moment. Something in me stirred, and it was like, wow, okay. I said yes, and then I thought, who was that just said yes? That was not me. Whoa. And then I stopped asking questions, and it was like, let's eat. And I remember vividly what I ate that day too. I ate a patty melt. It was a vegan patty melt with no cheese, right? And French fries and a Diet Coke back in the days of drinking Diet Coke. Yeah, it was quite some time ago, right? I said circa 2005. I don't drink Diet Coke anymore. But that's not the point. Disclaimer, yeah. This is not an ad. This is not promotional. But the experience for me was like, wow. And we went on and finished our meal. Then we went to the movies as if nothing ever happened. But in that moment, at that point, that time, circa 2005, at the Johnny Rockets in Campbell, California, I realized my call to ministry. Isn't that kind of funny? Right? That's like, oh, okay, all right, whatever. But everything started to shift. I heard it. It's them in the back. You're in trouble back there. Everything started to shift in that moment. Everything in my life, you know, I didn't even know that was a calling. I didn't even know that was an option for me at the time, you know. And I remember I was in a really good job. I had a great job with the software giant McAfee.com. I was in the Internet Infrastructure Services department working on the server operations team. And it was a great job. I was driving my Audi A4, wearing designer clothes. I was stoked, you know. And then all of a sudden, a call to ministry. And so that stirring has transformed my life magnificently. Like, I had no idea what that was going to reveal, how that was going to undo me and reconfigure my way of being, my way of life, my relationship with the divine, and everything. My life is so amazing today because of my listening to that calling. So, friends, the invitation for you is to consider, what's that thing that's stirring in you? What is it? Is there something that keeps coming up for you, and then you just sort of say, oh yeah, maybe later, or send it to voicemail, or, oh, that can't be for me, that's probably for someone else? Ooh, I love what Ernest Holmes observed when he said, you rob no person when you discover your own good. You limit no person when you express a greater degree of livingness. You harm no one by being happy. You steal from no one by being prosperous. You hinder no person's evolution when you consciously enter into the kingdom of your good and possess it today. Dr. Seuss touched on it when he said, today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken. Powerful. So today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. That's from a kid's book. Really? You know? It means that each person is unique and special in their own way. There is nobody else in the world who is exactly like you. And that is what makes you so special. Be proud of who you are and embrace your individuality, because there is nobody else who can be you better than you can. In a world where people are often pressured to conform or fit into certain molds, this quote encourages people to be true to themselves and celebrate their own unique qualities and characteristics. Oh, cultivating authenticity is not about becoming something other than who you are. Rather, it involves us in releasing the patterns of thoughts, attitudes, and actions that act as barriers to us standing in our personal truth and power. By taking up this practice, we develop courage to be vulnerable and stand in that truth. This month, we're going to be exploring the parts of the practice for authenticity and for authentically living out loud. Are you guys up for that? All right. So RuPaul said we are all born naked and the rest is drag. RuPaul said that every day we get to decide who we are and how we'd like to present ourselves. It is totally up to us. And we are called to really realize and recognize that even if, sometimes I think we hold ourselves back because we see somebody who is doing a certain thing that we're called to do, and we think, well, they do it so well, and I could never be like that. Well, yeah, why would you want to be like that, It was Emerson that said imitation is like suicide, because when you're trying to imitate someone else, you can never be the other person. You can only be the you that is within you. And so being all of that and all that you came here to be is so beautiful. And you have that power and capacity to be good, magnificent, brilliant, amazing in your own beautiful way. Even though it may not be like that person, that's something to celebrate, You aren't that other person. You are you, and you are magnificent. Do you feel that you're magnificent right now? Yeah, feel that. Feel that magnificence that is within you. Feel it and get present to this spirit, this essence that is within each of us. It loves us exactly as we are and exactly as we are not. And it wants to shine through us. So who are we to not allow spirit to shine through us? That one always gets me going. Who do I think I am to play small? Spirit wants to speak and talk and share and shine. and love and live through me, I need to get my bloated nothingness out of the way. That's one of my favorite quotes. I've been saying it since day one here, right? Get my bloated nothingness out of the way. What that means is my fears, my programming, all the things that say, no, not you. Why you? Oh, who do you think you are? You know? Oh, this has never happened to me. All of that. It's like, that's so 20 years ago. And all of that stuff that we carry that prevents us from being who we are and who we came here to be, it's just programming. It's just programming. You know, so working in IT, let's look at, okay, so does everybody have a laptop or some kind of computer in this room? Yes? Does anybody not have one? Just curious. Okay. So we all have an operating system on whatever, even on our phones. Our phones even have an operating system, right? And then there are updates, and the updates come out, and you have, okay, here's one update, like a security update, and then another one comes out, and then another one comes out. This is constantly happening on our operating systems, on our laptops, computers, and phones. And then at some point, it's like, okay, there's just too many of these, and now we need to actually have a version upgrade. So boom, there's a version upgrade. Woo, right? 2.0 or whatever. And then pretty soon, another update comes out, another update comes out. The point of that is that it's all a program, right? And so the things that we have in our consciousness, our thoughts, our beliefs, our programming, our experiences from the past, whether it was from when we were kids or even last week, something that we picked up that is having us move through the world in a particular way, that's programming. And that programming can be reprogrammed. It's time for a version upgrade. It's time to say yes to who you are and who you came here to be. Maybe it's more love. Maybe you came here to shine a little bit brighter. You're already shining pretty bright, Ethel. Maybe, maybe it's to be the best grandparent ever, or maybe it's to volunteer somewhere. Maybe it's to start singing or to be in service. Whatever it is, listen to that calling that is within you, because that is gold. It's like gold. You know, it's like gold, because Spirit nudges us. For me in my life, I always feel like Spirit is laying out these spiritual breadcrumbs, and it's like, follow the yellow brick road, you know, and I'm like, oh, let's go this way. And I follow it, and it continues to unfold in this most beautiful and magnificent way. But we have to be paying attention to it. We have to be listening, lest we get stagnant, right? We get stagnant and we are in our routines and stuck in these routines, and it's like, hi ho, it's off to work I go. Or what's that thing? I owe, it's off to work I go. Stuck in the routine, shake it up, you know? Listen to the inner callings within. Spirit wants to shine through us. Now, have you guys heard the story of the Golden Buddha? Some of you have. Good. So in Bangkok, there is a golden statue of the Buddha that stands 9 feet 8 inches tall, and it weighs 5.5 tons. This Buddha is huge, and it's worth approximately $250 million in its gold. Now, it is believed that the statue was built in 1403. Something happened, though, in 1757. The Burmese army was invading Thailand, and the Buddhist monks at the monastery covered the golden Buddha with plaster, which was also painted and then inlaid with little bits of colored glass to hide its value from the invading army. Now, during the invasion, none of the monks survived, but the golden Buddha was left undiscovered. In 1957, an entire monastery in Thailand was being relocated by a group of monks. Can you imagine? So while moving the large statue, the ropes actually broke, causing it to fall to the ground. And that created a very large crack in the clay of the Buddha. So on closer investigation, they saw that there was a golden light emanating from that crack. So a dutiful monk got out a hammer and a chisel and started to chip away at the clay exterior until he revealed that the statue was made of solid gold. Under the plaster of thought, belief, our thoughts and beliefs that are not the truth of who we are, there lies our authentic self, our golden Buddha. Dr. Seuss asks, why are you trying so hard to fit in when you were born to stand out? This is so meaningful to me because we moved around a lot when I was a kid, and I just wanted to fit in. I reached a point where I just didn't want to be the new girl, because there was so much attention, and it just felt weird to have all this focus on me. I'm new again, and I wanted to fit in so badly. So hearing Dr. Seuss say, why are you trying so hard to fit in when you were born to stand out? That's freedom. That is permission for us to be all that we came here to be. It's so good. A couple of things inspired me today that I wanted to share with you. Inspired me this week. One of them was, we had a Buddhist tea ceremony on Wednesday at the office. How many of you attended that? Awesome. It was wonderful. And the Geshe, his name is Geshe Lobsang, and he reminded us that meditation is key, right? Meditation is mind training, aka mind programming. Meditation is mind training, and meditation is the only way for us to heal our suffering, because suffering is mental. Medical suffering occurs for us sometimes, and medical suffering can be healed by pills or injections or whatever, but suffering is healed by meditation. That's why Ernest Holmes said a pill and a prayer. Yes, a pill and a prayer, because you can take this pill and get better, but that's going to help you physically. What is your mental suffering that needs to be healed? You don't need to know what it is, but the solution is meditation. Prayer and meditation, right? So every negative emotion, he also shared, that causes us to suffer has an antidote. How beautiful is that? The antidote or spiritual remedy for anger is compassion. Having a compassionate mindset is the seed for all peace. Peace for all sentient beings is the vision for these monks. Peace for all sentient beings. And he said that the method to that peace is through compassion. So we use compassion in order to attain peace. And I thought to myself, how beautiful is that? Like, these monks have a vision, their monastery, and they're like the Tibetan Buddhists, right? They're all about peace and cultivating compassion in the world. What a beautiful gift to the world. And so we got to be so present, and we got to be still and in that space of compassion. And he did some chanting, which was so powerful and so deep, and we carried that into the rest of our week. And so I was very grateful for that, and considering how I can sow seeds of compassion in my own life to help make the world a better place. And the invitation is for you to also consider that, because as we create compassion, as we are compassionate for ourselves and towards ourselves, we are compassionate towards others, those in our direct environment, our loved ones, our spouses, our children, having that compassion and then bringing that compassion out into the world. Now, let me tell you something about Geshe Lobsang. Travis and I met him one time in 2018. He came to the Central Coast Center for Spiritual Living, and we hosted him. It was a talk, I think, and a meditation, and it was so beautiful. And we met him that one time, right? 5 years ago, back in 2018. And when I saw him on Wednesday, he was getting set up, came into our office, and I went to talk to him. I welcomed him, and he said, "Elizabeth, so good to see you." And he said, "You and Travis got married, and I didn't get you anything." And that was my experience exactly. I thought, what? Wow. And I thought he must have seen it on Facebook because they're modern monks, right? Modern monks. But in that moment, there was a piercing revelation, and I kind of melted. Like, that was so sweet. How can I be sweet like that? Wow. Because that sweetness transforms people. That sweetness in that moment transformed me. And wow, how can I be like that and bring that into the world? That is our calling also. Now, speaking of compassion, I want to share, this is a fun story. This is about bacon. Do y'all love bacon? Bacon, yeah. Look at the smiles. So a friend of mine went to the grocery store to pick up a few items for the week, and they needed to pick up some cooked bacon, which they happened to sell at the deli at California Fresh in San Luis Obispo. Now, when it was my friend's turn at the counter, he asked for all the bacon they had left. He was stoked. And so the staff person went back to wrap up the bacon, and a woman approached the counter and asked the person at the counter, "Do you have any more bacon in the back?" And he said, "I'm sorry, we have no more bacon." My friend witnessed this whole thing, right? And he felt it within him, this urge to share the bacon. And he instructed the person who was helping him at the counter to take whatever bacon that he had wrapped for him, divide it in half, and give the woman the other half. Does this sound like a parable from the Bible? Right? And the woman looked at him and said, "Who are you? Who are you? Like, who does that? You know? Wow." The staff person returned with each of their packages of bacon, and the woman looked at my friend in the eye and said, "You are my hero." Right? Sharing the bacon. So, my friends, what do the Buddhist tea ceremony, the golden Buddha, and bacon, and my call to ministry all have in common? I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. That's your homework assignment. Figure it out and give me a call. There you go. No, really, though. What they have in common is authenticity and listening to our internal nudges, to the divine presence within us, and to allow our golden Buddha to come out and shine. It is within each one of us, and it is regardless of age, regardless of your life experience, where you are right now, there's a golden Buddha within you, and you're letting it shine and showing it off to the world the same way that Spirit showed off this week with the planets, the kissing planets, the cosmos. Are you shining your gold to all, being all that you came here to be? Because you are beautiful, you are radiant, and you are magnificent. So in conclusion, it has been said, be yourself, because everyone else is already taken. And while we may nod our heads in agreement, we find ourselves sometimes sacrificing ourselves to fit in. and for others to like us and approve of us. But the thing that really matters is that you like and approve of yourself. And I can guarantee you that you will not only like and approve of yourself, you will absolutely love and adore yourself if you are being you. Your authentic self is an expression of the divine. It is time to recover that consciousness of wholeness. It is who you are. So the questions to ask ourselves this week are number one, what messages have you received from your family, friends, teachers, or the media about who they think you are? And number two, what spiritual practices help you access your authentic self? And lastly, how does authenticity look and feel to you? Like you know it when you got it. You know it. How does that feel? How does it look? And then I'm going to invite Travis up for our closing prayer. And as he comes up, I would love to just ask you to do whatever you need to do to get into prayer pose. You can shake your arms maybe, or scratch your nose. Whatever you need to do to let go and be fully present and available in this chair. Maybe you need to close the door. A little chilly. Yeah. Yeah. And so allow yourself to be fully present and in this moment now. And I know that as we close our eyes, we are tuning into the divine because we are becoming more focused on the internal world and the mystical world and the presence of love that is right within me and right within each one of us. I'm so grateful to know that Spirit is all that there is, that it is all that there ever was, and it is all that there ever will be. And this presence is right within me, not just right now in this moment, but every moment. And I know and claim for each one of us that as we go forward from here, we recognize this beautiful presence that is within us. We recognize that there is something that wants to express itself through us, that there is an invisible presence that is like tapping us from the inside, nudging us, guiding us, whispering, singing our celestial song. And I know that each one of us is listening. And not only are we listening, we hear the celestial song that is being sung, but we take action. And we put one foot in front of the other and allow ourselves to be guided by Spirit, to be guided by these spiritual breadcrumbs that are revealing the kingdom of heaven. And I know that we recognize the golden Buddha that is within us. And we recognize that we are one with the divine, that sometimes we think human, divine, but it's the same thing, like a quarter. Heads, tails, it's still a quarter. The one thing happening here and now is Spirit, and it is right within us. And it wants to express itself in a way that it can through you. It wants to live through you. It wants to live through me. It wants to shine through me. It wants to love and laugh and experience the most glorious, magnificent life through each one of us. Will I let it? Yes. Will you let it? Yes. Yes. From this moment forward, we let it. We let it be. We let this divine light shine. We let ourselves be all that we came here to be, with authenticity, with grace and ease, perfectly imperfect, remembering that we have the divine, and whoever has the divine lacks nothing. Nothing. I know that all of our needs are met, that we are thriving, that we are living and loving and doing and being all that we came here to be. So thank you, Spirit. Thank you for all the goodness that we already experience and see in our own individual lives. I'm so grateful for bacon and for Buddhist tea ceremonies and for Awakening Ways spiritual community, for Jimmy and the musicians and our beautiful choir angels, the angels of the earth, and Travis. I'm grateful for guitar music. I'm grateful for prosperity and each individual here. I'm grateful that Spirit woke us up this morning and caused us to come in here. And I will continue to listen to that call. And I know that every day in every way, we are each getting better and better because we are becoming more of who we already are. It's being revealed to us now. So with great gratitude, I can release this prayer now, knowing it is so. I send it out to that loving and creative action of the law, which is like the divine manufacturing plant. And I allow it to be produced. I let it be. And I know it is done because that's the way Spirit works. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you, beloveds.